And there we go. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I have attention, please? All quiet, please. Thank you. So, take out the handout I gave you last time on Mongol trading. Yes? Yes. Okay? We're going to continue this learning experience game and see how it works with you. Keeping in mind that one of the main objectives of this is to get a sense of kind of like, if you are a competitor back then, or you are right now, do you want to win? Do you want to profit? Raise your hand if you want to profit. Raise your hand if you want to win. Raise your hand if you want to survive the Black Death. Oh, you want to do that too? Well, if you want to survive the Black Death during this game, Vinny, what should you do? Stay away from any trades. Did you trade in round one?
Yeah.
Who'd you trade with? Keith? Really? Did you exchange the Black Death? You don't know. We'll find that out today. We will find that out today. Last time, actually, who traded with Marin during the first round? You did. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll find out. Marin is not here to trade today, so it's actually like my other class. There was an odd number of people, so which creates an interesting dynamic because in a given round, we're about to do round two, right? In a given round, somebody's not going to have a trade. So you're like, let's just kind of look at that. If somebody doesn't have a trade, I'll explain this to everybody. If somebody doesn't have a trade in a round, here is what they're going to be writing down. No trade. For that round, instead of a name and where they, what the item was that they traded, they're going to be writing down no trade. So take a guess. What do you suppose they might write down, Becca, on the value in crowns? It turns out, I'm glad we'll clarify this. So you have all bought whatever item it is. Like, what's your item? Exotic animals. So you bought 10 crowns, actually 100 crowns worth of exotic animals, and you're trading 10 crowns worth of exotic animals in each round. Okay? Now, if you go to another country to make a trade, you're going to be getting something from them, and so the value is 20. So did everyone, for value in that very first round, I don't know if we got to that point, everyone traded something different, right? What did you write down? 20. Everyone wrote down 20? Okay, so write down value in crowns as 20, because it was something different. Actually, who are our, I think we got some like rivals in here. Oh yeah, you're the best. Ty's got the best jewels. Who's got the inferior jewels? Apparently, wow, you give up already. You're like, Pepsi, Coke, who cares, whatever. And I mean, it's like, I don't know, we'll find out who's going to profit. But, so jewels, huh? Raise your hand if you've traded in jewels already. So we got, you with somebody who did jewel dealing. So we got, you got jewels, you got jewels. Listen very carefully. Because if you were to trade, get jewels again in a subsequent round, it's not going to make as much profit in your home territory as that first round did. Okay, do you understand that? Because it's like there's just more jewels in the market, and so they're just not worth as much. So on that one, if you did, in a subsequent round, trade for jewels again, the value would only be 15. I've got that explained in there, but I'll just use my words to explain it. The value would only be 15. So, are you, Spencer, are you going to try and get jewels again? No, you're going to try and get something different. Wasn't there another item that there was two dealers? Horses. You're a horse dealer? Who's the other horse dealer? And she's not here. What happened to her? Really? You didn't just like ambush her on the way to school or anything, did you? It's awfully suspicious. Just kidding. But now, you're the only horse dealer, so you've got, like, you know, who traded with Marin in the first round? You did, so you got horses already. So don't expect that he's going to be looking for you for a trade because he's already got horses. He doesn't want to have any more horses. They're only worth 15. But if you aren't able to make a trade, you still have the value of the stuff you bought, which is 10. So if you don't make a trade in a second, third, or a subsequent round, it's still 10. Does that make sense? Okay? So there's always an incentive to trade. But if you ever get to the point where you're like, I got jewels, 20. I got jewels again, 15. Is it worth making a trade a third time? Because the value will only be 10. It's as though you almost didn't even trade. No, so that's going to be very interesting. These two are going to have a little bit harder time as we go through this. Because everyone's like, I got jewels coming out of my eyeballs. You know, good grief, I don't want any more jewels. Okay, so questions about that? Should we get into the game? So in normal situations, they'll go, everybody get up out of your chair and do trades and so forth. Okay, so let me just check. You've got the name of the person and the number, 20. And don't worry about enjoyed. You don't know enjoyed yet. You don't know yet. Don't mark that yet, because you could be dead. You might have had to pass that on to your next generation. We don't know that part, so leave that part blank. Leave the enjoyed passed on part blank. Okay? But hopefully this will go fairly quick and we can get through a lot of rounds, and then we can get to the cards of life and death. Weird. Are you ready to do round 2? Do you know what you need to do? What are you going to need to do, Addison, in round 2? You're going to need to trade with somebody. Okay? Do you know how to do that? Okay? It's easier to trade with the people around you. It's going to be a little bit harder for the people across the way. So here's the deal. I'm going to get started on round 2. If you haven't made a trade yet and you're looking to make a trade with somebody, just kind of hold your hand up and look around for somebody else who's got their hand up, and then make a connect. Some of you guys are already making connections and so forth right now, which is fine. I notice this happens already when I do it the real way, but have the hand up, and so presumably only one person will have their hand up as we finish up round 2. Okay? Are you ready? Round 2 has begun. Go.
Hey, Vinny, you want to trade? Of course.
You can't get out of your chair. I know, that's the only problem. Sorry.
What is your item? Silver. Cool. What's yours? Okay.
Raise your hand if you haven't made a trade yet. Oh, okay. So it's just you. All right, so here's what you want to write down for round 2. No trade.
Where are you from?
Just for round 2. And then the value is going to be 10. Okay? Uh-oh. Your competitor has already got a head start on you. All right. Eyes this way after you've written down the critical information of the person who you traded with. Addison, who did you trade with? Okay, what did you trade for? Okay. This always helps me learn names. Jordan, who did you trade with? And what did you trade for? Bella, who did you trade with? And what did you trade for? Brio, what'd you get? Okay, swords. Blake, who'd you trade with? Keith. What'd you get from Keith? Jewels. You got jewels, huh? Spencer, who'd you trade with? Vinny. Vinny, what'd you get? Okay, Yakov, who'd you trade with? Ty. Who'd you trade with? Nobody. You're like, I didn't get no Black Death during that round. So, Keith, are you feeling pretty smug right now? Yeah, you've already got a little bit of head up on the competition as far as like your profit margin and so forth. But that just means, raise your hand. All right, take a look here. We're going to give Ty a little bit of an advantage here. Everyone look at Ty, okay? If you don't have jewels yet, Ty, start looking around and see if you can start to make sort of that eye contact and sort of like maybe an agreement sort of thing with somebody for like the next round, which is round 3. Kind of, sort of. Don't be shy. Are you ready for round 3? Now, did you guys all write down 20? You guys have got something different? Okay, in that round? Okay, so that shouldn't be too hard, but do watch out because we do have 2 jewel dealers. Are you ready? Are you ready for round 3? Have you got something all set up? You think so? All right, round 3 has begun. Raise your hand if you don't have a deal yet. Raise your hand if you don't have a deal yet.
What do you have? Oh, Amber.
Raise your hand if you don't have a deal yet. Okay. It's okay, you can shout. Raise your hand if you don't have a deal. Oh, it's okay. All right, for round 3, what are you going to write in that spot? What are you going to write for round 3? Write no trade. Just write no trade. And then the value of the stuff that you have, it's still joules. It's still good for 10. Okay? So most everybody else, it's going to be tough for the jewel dealers. I can see that. But that's okay. It's like, you don't need to have more profit than everybody else in this class. You just need to have more profit than your competitor. Okay. All right, raise your hand if you still have maximum profit. You've got 20, and then 20, and then 20. We've done 3 rounds, right? Okay? Keith, you didn't have a deal with somebody that round, huh? You tried, huh? It's like all these people are like, raise your hand if you've already got joules. Here, here, here. So we've already got a saturation. So Keith and Ty, be looking over, because I don't know, would they like joules? Maybe. They don't have joules yet. I mean, they probably want to get joules at some point from somebody and so forth. Okay? Looks like you guys are following it pretty well. Yeah, no, this is good. Good, 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 good. Okay? You guys ready for round 4?
No.
What do you mean you're not ready for round 4?
Oh, he asked me if I wanted to trade.
Wow. Wow, rejection. Are you ready? Are you ready, Keith? You ready, Ty? You ready, everybody? Round 4, go.
So, what's that? I got 8 from 20.
Everyone's trading around them, which makes it a little trickier. Raise your hand if you haven't made a trade yet.
We're trying to trade, but people keep saying.
Oh, all right, we're going to give you a heads up on this one. We're going to give you a head start. Okay? Oh, Ty's like, woo, he was behind, but now he's pulling ahead. So write no trade again. Oof, the jewel trade. It's like, what's the matter with these jewels that nobody wants to buy them? They're just not that good, huh? Keith, are your jewels like inferior? I thought you had good jewels. I don't know. All right, so everyone, raise your hand if you still are going 20, 20, 20, 20. You're maxing out. Yeah, I mean, it's like horses. It's like, what happened to Marin? Yeah, right, yeah. She didn't get here with her horses, so something. Anyway, okay? Now, Keith, I'm going to give you an opportunity now as we approach, what, round 5? Yep, good. Keith, you may, everyone else be quiet, you may engage in a conversation with somebody. We're going to give you a head start. Who hasn't got jewels yet? Would you like Keith? Keith, there are wonderful merchants on the, what is this? It's like segregated. I just noticed this. Boys over here, girls over there. Shh. Let the two not get together. I mean, like, whatever. Of course they do. Do you know who that is? All right, so round 5 has begun. Go. Eventually, you're going to have to trade boys and girls. Raise your hand if you haven't traded yet. Vinny? Really? I'll give you a head start on this next one. Write down for, what is this, round 5? Write no trade. Okay. And then for the value in crowns, write 10. Okay. Okay, everyone got their paperwork done? You got to get your paperwork done. You got to fill in the stuff. Okay? Vinny got left out in the lurch that time. Ooh, he's joined the club of being left out. Now notice this, all right? Gentlemen, have you made trades with all of the other gentlemen? Raise your hand if you have. Okay, now, have you made trades with these ladies over here? Ladies, have you been making trades with the boys, the gentlemen over there? Notice as we get into these subsequent rounds, it's like, have you traded with all of these ladies around here? Yeah, if you want to keep making a profit, you're going to have to shout it. You're going to have to shout it over across the way. Now, Vinny would love to just get up and move around. I saw that because that's the way this game really works. I know that's what you're like intention. You're like, I want to do this. I'm going to talk to these guys. And literally, like in the past, sometimes students, they finish up one round, they start like making eye contact and making little notations on the side for subsequent rounds, which makes sense because it can be pretty competitive. And sometimes out of like 30 students in here, it's like, crazy. So, Vinny, what do you got? What's your item?
I have silver.
You have silver. Raise your hand if you do not have silver yet. Everybody over here. Oh, and right over here. There's a couple of people that haven't got silver yet. Okay? So yeah, you may have already gotten the jewels and so forth. And it's always best to make a trade for the same item you have before because you can get 15, so that's better than just 10. But on the third go around, he's like, Are you ready? Vinny, are you ready? Do you think you got a deal this next round? What are we at, round 6? All right, ready? Round 6 has begun. Go.
Jade from China. Where's you from? Wait, from where? What's your item?
It's okay. You guys shout it out. It's okay. Did you get all the information? Not yet? Keep. Yeah, the key thing is the name of the person. Make sure you get the name of the person. Is it something new you've not gotten before? 20. Yeah. So that's new going back to your home market. So people want it. They'll be paying max price. Who did not trade that round? Oh, Blake, you didn't trade. All right, so for round 6, right, no trade, and the value is 10. Blake, what do you got? 10 from England. Raise your hand if you do not have 10 yet. Oh, look, like everybody. Oh, and somebody over here, too. So, Blake, as we enter into round 7 and so forth, you got a little bit of a head start on there, right? Mostly it's going to be this shouting back and forth across the classroom. I can see this. Are you ready for round 7? All right, go.
What you got?
I got salt. What?
What do you have?
Who's getting left out?
What you got?
Jade from China.
Did you make a deal yet? Did you make a deal yet? No? For round 7? Okay. Raise your hand if you haven't made a deal in round 7. Okay. Oh, it's on this side. So usually it's these guys that haven't made a deal and so forth. Okay, so Brielle, for round 7, right? No trade. And then the value in crowns is 10. Okay, raise your hand if you have made a deal in every single round and gotten something new and different. Ooh, lots of profits going on here. Oh, Marin's here. The horse trader is here. Come on. Oh my gosh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Take out your sheet. We're going into round 8. Brill's like, wait a minute. Can we open up round 7 again? Although you may have already got horses. Do you already have horses? I mean, not that it makes a much difference. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, Brielle, what is the item that you have? What? Persian rugs. Okay, so Persian rugs. Marin, as you take out the little sheet of paper and so forth for rounds 2 all the way through 7, just write no trade. Don't worry. You didn't make no profit. You didn't lose any money. You didn't make any profit, but don't worry. You're not going to catch the Black Death and die during those rounds. Maybe you'll catch it in the first round or in the subsequent round, but whatever. Okay? So have that? Okay? So raise your hand if you do not have rugs yet. Brielle, look around you. Forget these guys. They already got your rugs. Look around. Okay, look around you. You already have kind of like a figure you figured out and so forth. Are you guys ready to go into round 8? Now keep in mind, we got an even number of people here, so probably everyone is going to be able to make a deal. You ready to go into round 8? Round 8 has begun. Go.
What you got? Silver. Jade from China.
Raise your hand if you haven't made a deal yet. You guys should talk to each other. For round 8.
What are you trading? All right. I'm trading horses for my Mongolia.
I mean, I guess I'll have to take horses.
Yeah, do you already have horses? It's okay. Even if you already have horses, go for it. Keith, did you already have horses before?
This is my third horse.
This is your third horses? Well, everyone needs a spare horse or two. That's fine. So, Marin, and you got jewels for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, does anyone else not have jewels?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, because we got 2 jewel dealers. Now we got some competition. Now we got like all these horses out there and so forth. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Here, I knew this was going to happen. People are like talking and we're like done with round 8. What are you already getting ready for round 9? What are you, a competitor? Yes. So, everyone got the information for round 8. Anybody still maxing out their profits? You got something new in each round. Wow. And you may still be able to do that. I'm curious, just to give Marin a little bit of a heads up here, and you're going to be looking too. Raise your hand if you don't have horses yet. It's kind of over here. We got 3 over here. So there's going to be a little bit of competition for those ones. Are you guys ready for round 9? All right, now round 9 has begun. Go.
What? Jade from China. Silver.
Raise your hand if you haven't made a deal yet. Raise your hand if you haven't made a deal yet. We got somebody over here who hasn't made a deal yet. Talk to each other. Shaw. Okay. So he hasn't gotten that yet. Did you already get jewels before? Yeah. So for the second time you have jewels, right? 15. If it's the second time you've gotten that product, it's worth 15. Okay? All right. Shh. That was round 9, right? Shh. How many of you guys have got something a second time, whether it's probably jewels or maybe horses at this time? So make sure it's 15 that second time. How many of you guys have gotten something a third time? Yeah, you got horses the third time. The third time is like, yeah, I was doing a favor. Right, 10. It was almost as though, your home market is saturated now with horses. We got a lot of horses and jewels around here. Okay? Now, wait for it. Okay, so did you get all updated, Marin? Did we give you enough time to get updated? Yeah. So you've really only had to trade in round 1 and then round 8 and 9? Okay. Yep. All right. So who else still doesn't have horses? You think? She's like, get out of the way. I'm going to get you. All right, who doesn't have jewels yet? Who has only one thing of jewels? So, there could be an opportunity there. All right, let's do round 10. Go.
You want to trade? Jade from China. Jade from China.
Mongolia. Where are your jewels from? India. Where are yours from? Mongolia.
Okay. All right, did everyone get a trade in round 10? Okay, everyone got a trade in round 10. All right, did anybody get something like they already had previously? So, like 15. So what did you get the second time? What?
It's the only people who want to trade with you.
Oh, no, that's okay. You just got horses. You're like, instead of trading jewels, you'll be a horse trader now. Second-hand horse trader. All right, now, in the category over on the far right, okay, you've got all your value in crowns. Add those up, okay, and subtract 100, and that will give you your profit, which will be the total profit, which is in the lower right-hand corner, your total profit. So the most somebody could total profit, since they started out with 100, the most somebody could total profit is like double. They could get 100. So if you're thinking, if you got something new every round, your total profit is 100, okay, because 200 minus 100 is 100. If you were like a little bit short, probably you're like, if you doubled up once, then you got a profit of 95. So I'm kind of curious. 95, that's good. Okay. 155? Oh, because you kept getting those darn horses. Okay, it's all those horses he kept getting. So it wasn't the jewels that was the issue, it was the horses. So everyone's already got that. Okay. All right, now, let's have a little celebration. Raise your hand if you maxed out, you got profit, and you're like 100% profit. Whoa, well done. Congratulations to all you guys. Raise your hand if you hit 95, okay? 95, and that was with some tough competition, but only at the very beginning and the very end, all All right, yeah. So Marin is kind of like sitting, and her profit is not that great because she missed out on a lot of the trade. But that's okay. We'll see. Who ended up with the most profit? I think we can know how this worked out, Mr. Horsey Dealer. Who ended up with the most profit among the two jewel dealers? What'd you get? 85 is actually pretty good because a lot of people had those jewels. And you got 55, which is still good because you did make a trade in like every round except for like a couple near the beginning. And this is reality. Where there is competition, it's tougher to make that additional profits. Okay? Now let's get to the Black Death component, right? You got a number on your desk, and as it turns out, little did you know that one of you had a supplier that actually had the Black Death. And we don't know if you actually did contract the Black Death from that supplier. You don't even know who you are. Let me see, what is the number? We got 15. I'm going to write down a random number here. And I don't know, I need a volunteer. Marin, give me a number between 0 and 15. I'm going to add that number to the number I wrote down, and if it's larger than 15, I'll subtract 15 from that number. In any event, that will be the person who had the contact with the Black Death person. 17. Between 0 and 15. 17 is bigger. Okay. I know, love that. Go ahead. Try again, Marin, between 0 and 15. 11, okay. So 11, and I wrote down 7, so that adds up to 18. 18 minus 15 is 3. Well, isn't that special, Brielle? Okay. So, Brielle, wow, that's just a special. Brielle, I'm just curious, who'd you trade with in round 1? Really? What about round 2? And what about round 3? They're wondering if you actually did get sick because if you did get sick, you were still around trading with them, infecting them with the disease because the Black Death, the plague, doesn't kill you right away. That's the danger of that kind of disease. You spread it before you get really, really sick, boom, and you're flat out. Okay? Now, we're not going to have contact. Usually, I would bring the deck of cards right up here, okay, and you would pull one, but we're going to try and reduce the number of contact here. Brielle may not have caught the Black Death from that dealer. We just don't know. You ready? Are you okay if I just cut it in half and show the card right about here? Is that okay? She died. Okay? All right, so this is what we do. We have yeah, I know, this is like, you can still enjoy this even during a pandemic. I have now found the answer. Can I do the Black Death game during a pandemic and have students enjoy it? Apparently, yes. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and make sure that we have all these names because I don't know if this is going to be a very virulent strain of the Black Death. Where did I put that thing down? I see in chart. Okay, we're, there it is. Okay, Brielle, remind me, so I'll get the spelling right. Who'd you trade with in round 1? Addie. I got Addison. Is it A-D-D-Y, or how do you spell Addie? What? A-D-D-Y. Addie. Okay, who'd you trade with, Brielle, in round 2? Bella. Okay, and then who'd you trade with in round 3? Sophie or Sophia? I thought it was Sophia. I'm going to write Sophia. Of course, everyone's wondering, actually most of you guys, did Addie catch it and then potentially spread it on to other people? Because if she did, we would look and see, Addie, just curious, who'd you trade with in round 2? Oh, okay. So Sophia might have had a lot of contact with it. And then what about round 3? Yeah, right, and round 4. Yeah, and it's like, it's kind of concentrated right here. It hasn't jumped over there yet. The deadly Brielle variant of the Black Death hasn't jumped over yet. We'll see if it does. Addie, are you ready? Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. In this, is it one chance out of 3 or one chance out of 2 or what? One out of 2, because half of the cards are red and half the cards are black. Works that way in a normal deck of cards. If I were to do a variance of like the Americas and the Polynesian, as far as like what's the likelihood of catching like smallpox or the measles or something and dying, it would be most of the cards would be black. I would take out almost all the red cards because it was like 90, 95%. But you got a 50-50 chance. You ready? Here's Addie's. Should I go? Is this a good cut? Oh, bummer. Wow, that was not so good. You can see this is... All right, Addie, let's just go ahead and spell this out. Who was it you traded with round 2? Oh my gosh, we're going to be spending some time there. And in round 3? Yeah. We're going to be visiting these guys twice. And in round 4? It's who? Jordan, okay. And then in round 4? Yeah, that's what I thought. The guys are like, we practice safe trading methods. Maybe. We'll see. I know we got until, we got another 10 minutes of spreading deadly diseases. So, Bella, are you ready? No? Is this a good cut? Here? Okay. That girl gone. Oh my gosh. Actually, last year, here's the deal. So here is actually Bella 2.0. Okay, or Bella Junior or whatever. Okay, so that's where you start filling in the you enjoyed it personally, or you can check off you passed it on. So like Brielle, she didn't enjoy nothing. I mean, everything else got passed on to like subsequent members of her family or her business or whatever. You got that? So that whole right column is ding, 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 ding. Okay? This is actually pretty good for like a really